Lovely and welcome to Fair Rugby on Fair Sports. For today's preview, as Stormers will be taking on Benetton this week on Friday, the first game of the weekend of the last round of a group stages action for the URC. It's round 18, and then after this, we'll move on to the playoffs. For the Stormers, well, the only thing they could do is go out, get a bonus point win, and try and put a bit of pressure on Ulster, who basically just need a win, really, to solidify that second spot. So it was a pretty big an important loss for the Stormers last weekend against Munster. For Benetton, well, can't really make the playoffs, and I think the team sort of reflects that. A brand new pack, quite a lot of changes in the backline as well, so a lot of rotation for the Italian side. I think they'll be sort of all in on that Challenge Cup as an opportunity for them to try and get into the Champions Cup for next season. But it's a pretty big news for the Stormers in terms of a big start starting. So before you talk about the two teams, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. And we'll start with the home side, which is the Stormers, of course. And two changes in the front row. JJ Kotze and Netlip Bashir will get an opportunity to start in front of their home crowd. Stephen Kitsoff will continue to captain side in what is his last couple of games for the Stormers, really. After this, it's going to the playoffs. So after this, every single game he plays for the Stormers could be his final game before he moves over to Ulster at the end of the year. Ruben Van Heerden and Marvin Orie, same lock combination as last week, but a slight rejig of the loose trio. That Chiva Diamani moving to the flank. Willie Engelbrecht keeping his spot. Evan ROOS will start after making his comeback from injury last week. Looked pretty bright, to be honest, quite sharp. Was full of carrying once again, as always, and I think you'd expect him to try and take that up an arch this week. He's got a handful of games, really. He's got this weekend, the playoff games, and maybe a couple of Currie Cup games to really try and put himself into that Springbok mix. So not a lot of opportunity for the eighth man. That injury, I think, really sort of denting his chance of going to the World Cup. Paul de Wet will play his 50th Stormers game. And this weekend, he partners Mike Liebach, who had a bit of a poor game off the tee last weekend, and we're looking to try and bounce back and improve on his goal kicking. Again, somebody with an outside shout for the World Cup, and he's going to have to put a couple of good performances just to remind everybody what he's all about. He's in another very good season, and it's always unfair to judge him on one poor game. But he'll know that if he had kicked better last weekend, they probably would have come away with the result, and they could very well have had that home semi-final. But they need to get through the quarterfinals to even worry about that home semi-final. South Africa has a new wing partner, Angelo Davids, does start. Simon Hartzenberg has dropped down to the Currie Cup, which I think is a good decision. I think has been found wanting a little bit on defense. Angelo Davids will take a spot. Also, a shift in the midfield. David Willems has moved from full back to inside centre. Dan Duplessis, I thought was phenomenal last weekend, shifts to outside centre, and Clayton Blommetjies will start at full back. Off the bench, Joseph Dweba, Ali from Mark France, Malherbe will be the reserve front row. So two Springboks and Dweba and Malherbe, who can add a lot of impact in the latter stages of the game. Marcel Tennyson, Ben Jason Dixon, and Ernst van Rijn. The other three forward replacements in a 6-2 split. Hershey Yankees and Ruan Nel will be the backline players that will come on later in the game. In terms of Benton, as I said, it's a brand new pack. All eight players are different from last weekend. So we look at Thomas Gallo, the very talented young Argentinian prop, star sitter Suamal and Filippo Alonghi in the front row, Marco Lazzaroni and Ricardo Favretto in the second row. The loose trio is Alessandro Isacol, Manuel Giuliani, and Henry Tom Stowers. Duval Duvenakel will continue to captain the side and start in the number 9 jersey. He'll partner Argentinian flyer half Thomas Albanors, who I thought had a really good game last weekend. And if he brings a similar sort of game this weekend, I think that Liebach Albanors duel should be quite interesting. Marcus Watson, Eduardo Padovani on the wings. Marcus Zandon, Jacques Riera, a new centre combination. Riera shifting to outside centre. No João Ignacio Brix this weekend. And then Matteo Minozzi starting on at fullback. On the bench, Bautista Bernasconi, Federico Zani, and Noel Tetas will cover the front row. Niccolo Canoni and Lorenzo Canoni, the two Canoni brothers, will be looking to add impact, as well as Sandro Gabizzi, Jacob Imaga, and Tommaso Menoncello. The game will kick off at 6:30 down in Cape Town at the DHL Cape Town Stadium. We will be live for the game, so come and join us. And it should be quite a cool game. The last group stage game for the Stormers, the last opportunity for them to put some finishing touches on their sort of team and the way they want to play and also while building momentum going into the playoffs. So Benetton, it's probably the last URC game that they're not going to make the playoffs, but an opportunity for them to give some other players a chance to try and stake a claim to try and get into that Champions Cup semi-final, which they do have next weekend. Let me know what you think that's going to happen down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.